Recording. I'll go back to the login screen or the world screen here.
Episode 11.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Bob and Sam Trolling It Up. It's me, Bob Ross, here with TJ Samuel J on the other end.
What's up, everybody?
Sorry again for the long delays here. We've both been super busy with our own stuff. Sam's been a little bit out of the game lately too, right?
I've been hospital hopping. I'm alright now.
Yeah, so everything's going well now. No need to worry. I guess I've gotten some well wishes on your behalf here, Sam, but you're doing better, right?
Yeah, my pneumonia's all gone.
Pneumonia? Okay, nice. So one of the things I've gotten a couple of requests for is people wanted to know how my Garth deck works. And since Sam's been out of the game for a bit, I thought might as well show everybody, including Sam, how it works. There's a couple of things you should know before we get into it. One is that the general idea behind monster decks in general and how they work. So a lot of people, when I talk about a monster deck, they will say things like, oh, I don't like those because they're not consistent. And I don't think that that's quite accurate. They're consistent in different ways than you're used to consistency. So one of the things that you might notice when you look at a monster deck is that it's got a ton of cards, but it's actually broken down in pretty reasonable ways. One thing is there's a lot of 3cc allies. They're all pretty decent in this deck. And it doesn't necessarily matter which ones I get, right? There's a lot of ways that I can take the board, a lot of ways to reclaim the board when I lose it, and a lot of just different kinds of tricks. So even if I don't get a specific card consistently, I should get something good that can help me in most situations. Does that make sense, Sam?
It does. I read the article on shadowera.net too, so I'm all ready.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. If you guys want any more background, feel free to read that. I also did a little write-up of how this works, so I guess we can just jump into it. Challenge. I've dropped my rating a bit because I've been experimenting with a lot of random decks, so it shouldn't be as hard to find a match. There we go. You still there, Sam?
I'm here.
Okay. Cool. All right. So here is an opening hand. So one of the things you want with this deck is to keep draw as much as you can. So I'm thinking we can get rid of the construct. What do you think?
Yeah, out of those, that's what I would.
The reason I'd like to use the construct as a combination with Vigilant Wisp, but Brax is really useful versus Vic.
And I'm guessing, like most rogue decks, Ankle Breaker is pretty key.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily key, but it's still strong.
Yeah, it's very strong. I'm going to get rid of Backstab, and I'm going to put out Vigilant Wisp. Glad I got it under the wire before a snare trap. This is a big Vic deck, so I'm wondering what it might be. Could be a Twilight deck. It could be just a standard trap deck. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to get rid of Sinkhole here. And so two choices. I could do Heirloom or I could use the ability. I think I'm going to go for the ability. What do you think?
Yeah, seek another ally. It's pretty much the same thing as drawing, but
yep.
Drawing what you want.
What I like to do at this point is seek another Vigilant Wisp. I think that's probably a good call. I have a backup draw engine. Next turn, I'll probably either play the Fortified Wisp, kind of bait his ability, or I might play the Vigilant Wisp to seek something else and then play the other Vigilant Wisp.
Seem like go.
What's that?
his chat. I'm not sure what he might go.
Seem like go. That's right. Ooh, okay.
Maybe that's code for something.
All right. So what I'm thinking, I can ditch this, play the treasured heirloom ability, and kill Eldon.
Yeah, that's probably.
So here's kind of the way that this deck works: is you have all these little tricks where you can get a little burst out of somebody that they didn't expect, right? Next turn, I can use his ability to pull something else if I want from the deck. He's probably going to kill it, but that's okay. So I could pull something like an Entangled Wisp and give him another +1 boost later. I could pull a Fortified Wisp to put something out that's hard to kill. Okay, this is easy enough. I drew an Entangled Wisp, but I think I'm going to resource it and then use Ankle Breaker.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep. And I like with Garth's ability, like your allies don't have to have super high attack to be able to take care of early threats.
Yeah, totally. It's completely reasonable to just go after them.
2 attack takes care of anybody up to 5 health with the ability, so I mean it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. And that's kind of why you can make these monster decks. Ooh, Void Plains. That was probably a bad move on his part, because it's going to give me draw. Spirit of Devotion, meh. Don't care about that. And he lost his thing, and I got my Void Plains, but I don't need it now. Okay. Should I keep it? I think I'll ditch it.
Yeah, I'd sacrifice it now that there's one out there.
And now that he can't use his ability soon, I can play that Brax and kill that guy. Let's do that. I'm going to leave, since I have plenty of cards in hand and nothing to spend on more cards, I'm going to just leave it like that for now.
Yeah, I don't know if I would take it yet.
So he can't kill any of my stuff with it. He can't exile any more allies, so might as well leave it out there. And I might be able to use it later. If I save up to 5 resources, I'll be able to do something bigger with it too. Okay, so now I can do my draw engine, Confluence of Fate, and kill that guy with Treasured Heirloom. I think I'm going to do that. I'll get rid of the Pack Beast, Confluence of Fate, Heirloom on him.
Next turn, he's probably going to Bobcat and
take out the Brax with
Gambit.
Gambit. Yeah, he's got a Bobcat on top, so that's probably coming next here. And I'll use Victor's ability. That means that this thing is staying here. I can save up till 5. I might be able to wipe his board.
I didn't see, does this have any ill-gotten gains in it or negative?
Yeah, there's 4 ill-gotten gains. There's 2, the whatchamacallits, the ones that anarchic lootings.
Anarchic lootings.
Yeah, so it's got enough item destruction. There's no Sorcerers of Endia in it, which is
no, ill-gotten gains, not Stop Thief.
Oh, ill-gotten gains. Yeah, there's 4 ill-gotten gains in here too.
Yep. Oh yeah, there's one.
So it has these kind of 2 overlapping draw engines. I'm not going to need this at all in this game.
Hey, it's nice. Moonstalker.
Yeah, it's really nice versus Moonstalker. I can put out Brax and Wisp. And then...
he's 4 turns away from being able to deal with that Brax again. So.
Yeah, exactly. And he can't use his own Yahari right now, so it's kind of just sitting there for me to draw off of when I want to, and maybe wipe his board with. Also, right now, I have over 8 resources, which means that with Wisp, I can start doing this combo where I look for my Thunderstrike constructs and then play them on an ally and Wisp, so I can start getting some good reach out of these guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Kill the Sabrine and buff the
Wisp at the same time. Yeah, totally. So there's a lot of like cool little tricks I can start doing now.
And now you can use the Shuriken.
Yep, totally. I'm thinking I can do the Ill-Gotten Gains Shuriken. No, I'll do the Shuriken. Then that's 4. I can do another 2. That's 6. I can pull something. Yeah, why don't I do that? Sound good?
Maximize your resources.
Or I could get rid of everything. Meh, I don't need to do that. And I'll just play this.
Yeah, I was going to say you can even just drop the Sabrine.
Yeah. I'll take the damage from that guy. He can't attack again onto Brax now. He can attack, but he'll be easy to take out next turn, so.
Yeah, it's like a neutral Garg almost, except for the weak attack.
Yeah, I like them a lot. I use them versus aggro type of decks. I have 4 in this deck, and I will use Vigilant Wisp to seek them, and then just keep playing them. It's kind of fun.
He heals at the end of your turn.
See, that trick could have taken out my Brax Soldier, except he's under 4 health, so he can't attack him. Nice. Not gonna do it. Too bad.
He thought he had something.
So he's hoping to use the land there to take out my guys next turn, which means now I kind of have to use it for the draw, which is fine. I would probably want to be drawing off of it anyway. God, forget. Oh, he forgot about Brax.
You can usually tell when somebody realizes that Brax has a second ability that's built in.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Ooh. See?
That hurt.
Yeah, why don't I'll ditch the troll just so I can resource, then I'll draw something, I'll probably get another 3cc ally, then I'll play something and the overwhelm.
Yep.
Okay, drawing off of this guy. All right, what do I want to play? I can play
Thunderstrike because.
Yep, I'm with you. Debuff him, buff him, and should I do the overwhelm?
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's fun. Why not? Bam.
How many of those do you have?
2. But they're always really good surprises when I can use them.
Not an overwhelming amount, but just the right.
Yeah, you don't want to be drawing them all the time, but every once in a while they're super useful. You know, there's that turn where Millstalker or Moonstalker has like a ton of allies out and they're all cloaked and they're thinking we got this game, and then you hit them with an overwhelm and it's done.
So is he going to use that location or save it for his ability?
I don't know. probably going to want to use his ability because I got that Brack Soldier out.
Yeah,
And,
especially now that he took care of the Sabrine and played his own 3cc.
Yeah. So what I can do is I can just pull another Thunderstrike construct. I could also do another attachment. There's a lot of ways I can clear this board right now. I want to put out another Brax either way, so he can't.
Yeah, I was thinking another Brax would, just in case he gets rid of that one.
Why don't I do the ill-gotten gains? I'll use the ability on this. I'll attack him for the 2 damage there. And kill him off with this guy.
I still think ill-gotten gains is one of the strongest engines in
the
totally. Game.
But you can see I even with the I was able to not need it for a long time because of Confluence of Fate and just the attachments and other kinds of little draw in here. And that's really what's kind of awesome about this deck is that there's so much overlapping draw that you can get away with things like holding on to ill-gotten gains for long periods of time, not using it. The problem with ill-gotten gains is it's just a lot of tempo. 4cc is a lot to put into it. And, I could have gotten away with probably playing it earlier, but it just never seemed like the right move so far.
And it's dangerous in like a rogue versus rogue match because it can always get blown up and they can accelerate their resources.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of reasons why you don't always want to use it. Oh, well, he got rid of his own location. Fine. Really gonna try to clear out those Braxnorian soldiers. They're ruining his day.
That was actually a pretty key ground shift there.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about ground shift. I never used it actually, really, and except Basically,
I haven't used it yet either.
Basically, I kind of feel like if it's necessary, then there's something wrong with the allies in the game. Like, and so like I know there's going to be a point where I'll want to use it, but I want to hold off until like, I know what's broken and what's not.
It's a need.
Yeah, because like if that's the only way you can kill Eternal Troll, then there's something wrong with Eternal Troll, and that needs to be nerfed, things like that. Yeah. And I'd rather like figure that stuff out first before I start relying on crutches like that. I don't know.
And I actually haven't found that big of a problem with Troll a lot of the times.
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed about it. I have trouble with it sometimes, not others. So I don't know. I guess it's fine. I guess it depends on how other stuff gets balanced, right? If it winds up, there could be certain other things that if they got nerfed could kind of make Troll overpowered, I think. But right now,
I can see ground shift like really helping out in somebody like Baduru if he's facing a lot of sandworms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody knows that you're going to play Baduru, then your Baduru should definitely play that to...
Totally. I mean, that's a great... Baduru, Skirvox, it's another one where Skirvox has, like, this one type of thing that can really hurt him with the armor, but most other stuff he's fine against. Like, that's a great thing to use against him. Or as him.
I don't think it should be needed in a normal deck. Like, I don't like Victor.
I haven't seen any items, but I'm thinking there have to be some. It's so huge.
He's got to have at least one Soul Seeker.
So, Spirit Shuriken. I think I'll do that. And then I'm going to do Backstab on him. Nice. I can draw something with him. I think I'll go for a Fortified Wisp. Just stuff that's hard to take out right now. I'm going to play that. Kill his dude with him. I attack with him because he's got Meek,
Yeah.
so that saves this guy to go for face. And then I can play another Vigilant Wisp to have more draw out there. And keeping that Entangled Wisp, even though he's useful, he's not going to be useful this turn because of the ground shift, and I still get that element of surprise, even though he knows I have it in hand because he saw me seek it. It's still a nice kind of thing to surprise someone when all my guys get buffed by one.
Now, could you have hit his hero since the ground shift was down?
What's that?
Could you have hit his hero with Meek since the ground shift was down? Oh, that's
true. Yeah. That's another little fun trick. Ground shift takes away Meek. So sometimes you can, when someone plays ground shift and you have some Vigilant Wisps, you can actually go for face if you want to. I've done that before. It's a nice.
It was only an extra 3 damage, but it was much better killing the Supreme than.
Yeah. But basically, this is how this deck works. You saw that at the beginning I was at 80 cards and he was at 60. Now I'm at 44 to his 35. So far I've drawn 11 cards more than him. And it's just going to keep getting worse. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 draw engines out. And it kind of it snowballs. That's why I keep resourcing stuff, because I know I'm going to pull useful things. And the most important thing is that I'm able to play a lot of things in a turn.
And I'm actually impressed that he still has a full hand, because
yeah,
he hasn't really gotten much chance to draw except for Gambit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's also been keeping up in terms of the resources, so that's pretty good. Oh, setting himself up for a Spirit Shuriken. Good thing I kept that Stop Thief. Okay, this should be easy.
The creepy Spirit of Devotion coming out.
Yeah, I love that card. I love the art on that thing. I don't need the troll. I'll get rid of him.
The troll's tossing the troll.
And get rid of this Spirit Shuriken. Clockwork Soldier's pretty good. I want to do the Entangled Wisp. Well, no, you know what I want to do is this guy to seek a Thunderstrike Construct to buff this guy. Oh, you could almost do it. Oh, there you go.
Just enough.
Yep. So there's all these like little tricks like that where you don't think there's lethal damage on the board. You think you're going to bait my ability, but I find other ways to kill stuff anyway. And I love doing that because then I get to save that shadow energy for emergency situations.
Yeah.
It's also one of the reasons I'm thinking that this general idea could work with other heroes, like Lance, for example.
I've seen a Lance with just with the electric allies, not with all the draw. And
yeah. Okay. Thanks for the free kill. Because I still got my Shuriken out. But now he's getting desperate. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, there goes his hand.
Lots of stuff. Oh. You just played a ton of 3cc allies and then gave me the way to destroy them?
We're one away, aren't we?
What's that? Yeah, we're one. It's kind of funny. Okay. Well, I can kill this guy flat out. Might as well do that one first. Do I have lethal? I think I could have lethal.
I was looking. I
can pull another one of these guys if I want with Vigilant Wisp. So that puts me at 4.
Yeah, that's lethal. Because you can add the ALR too, and the treasured heirloom. So, yeah, that's lethal. Major lethal.
So there you go. That's how the game works. That was pretty. It was kind of a slow victor that I was up against, but it's pretty standard kind of way that that deck plays out. It's got a weakness against really quick decks. Shall we try another one? See what happens?
Yeah, we can go with one more. I mean, I really didn't feel like we struggled at all there either for anything.
Yeah. This, it's not the worst matchup. It's not the best. It can be kind of tricky depending on... It looks like I got a pretty good opening hand. Eternal Troll versus Banebo, also not that strong. And I got some other stuff that's a little harder for it to deal with. The Pack Beast is actually probably a better play. So I'm going to ditch Eternal Troll. Does that sound good?
Our number one resource so far.
Yeah. So everybody that thinks it's overpowered, watch how quickly I ditch it. I do use it in certain matchups a lot, but in others I don't even bother with it. I probably can get rid of one of these.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would hold it, probably against another rogue, for example, but against Banebo, they probably don't have the tech for it. Not a lot of tech, at least. They might have a little bit. Clockwork Soldier is going to be good against Banebo. Again, because he doesn't have a lot of tech. Pack Beast could be good.
Play the Pack Beast, but get rid of
the Wisp. Ooh. I could get rid of the Clockwork Soldier.
All right.
Let's see it. Okay, and draw. He can probably kill it next turn. I'll do the Pack Beast.
He'll heal for one. No, he won't heal for one because the Gambit. Never mind.
I'll do the Pack Beast because he might do like a Krygon or something, and then I can Wisp to kill it.
Sounds good.
All right. So if he tries to kill my guys with the Krygon, then I'll surprise him with the Wisp. If he doesn't, then I'm in good shape anyway. I can probably start drawing off of that dude. The Vigilant Wisp.
One thing I hate about this too is that the Wisp on the right. There's so many Wisps now.
Too many Wisps.
He's immune to my lightning from my Zaladar. I can't remember which one's the one on the right there.
This guy?
In our hand.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that. He's immune to lightning, which is pretty useful at times. Okay, so he just played this. That means that I can't kill it with just one thing right now. I can play... Shoot, then he's going to buff it next turn. Wait, no, I could kill it if I play the Entangled Wisp. And then I attack it with the two guys. That's what I'm going to do. So this guy's going to do 2 to it, and then this guy's going to finish it off. Good?
Yep.
This one first? Or, yeah, because if I do this one, he'll heal at 1, but it'll still be killable by Banebo. I'd rather do this one. Rather lose the Pack Beast than lose my draw there. So all these like little plays like that, what they wind up doing is they disrupt his plan. You know, he had this plan. He was going to take this guy out, make this guy unkillable, and I kind of screwed that up. So now he's got to think of an alternate plan. Perfect shot going to be wasted on the Vigilant Wisp, probably.
Didn't he have healed one? The Pack Beast?
Pack Beast? No, because that's a -1 health. It's not a damage.
No, I mean the Pack Beast. Shouldn't the pack beast the field one? Or is that on the other allies?
Only other allies. Yeah, so if there's 2 pack beasts, it'll heal. But for one,
Okay.
it's... Ooh, nice. I think I just don't resource and play the Bad Santa. See what I get.
Need some draw.
Nice, perfect. That was a lucky pull right there. And now I can deal with a lot of stuff that comes out because I can resource something and play the Thunderstrike Construct next turn. That'll put me over 5 damage with the Entangled Wisp.
Are all of the allies except for Brax homunculi?
There's General of Unaxio, Sabrine, and Braxnorian Soldier. Those are the only non-homuncs in here.
Oh, there's a majority of...
Yeah. Did they disconnect? Are they quitting? Cruel Jenny.
Yeah, Cruel Jenny.
They rejoined the game. Thank
Jenny.
you. I think I just have internet connectivity problems here or something. I don't know. I get that a lot. Oh. Okay. So easy. I got this. So it's just a little bit of math here, right? I can debuff this guy by 2, puts him at 2. That means this guy can one-shot him. Same time I can buff this guy 2, makes him be able to one-shot him. Cool?
Yep.
Do. So all these little plays just give me a slight advantage each turn, and over time it kind of wears away whatever the opponent was hoping to do. This is the other kind of way this deck plays, is the hard-to-kill, kind of slow plotting victory. So it can play in kind of 2 modes. One is like, I had like no draw that game, but I was able to still keep the board. Or you can play in the mode of, I draw a ton, and because I'm drawing so much, it doesn't matter if I keep the board or not.
Then there's the, I clear your board, you might as well give up.
Yeah.
Strategy.
Yeah. So it's flexible. There's a lot of ways to play it. Shall we recap, or do you want to try to find another game here?
We can probably recap on that now. 2 games is...
Yeah, that's a good one.
1.5 games.
Yeah. All right. So as you can see, there's a ton of different...
I forgot Night Owl too.
Oh yeah, there's Night Owl. So there's a bunch of cards in here. The general way you want to build any kind of monster deck, and I have this in my articles on shadowware.net, is to think about it in terms of like general roles, right? I'm not building this deck so that I can draw a Night Owl. I never drew a Night Owl in either of those games, right? And if I was counting on Night Owl, we would have lost both of those games. But I'm not counting on Night Owl. I just want a card in a 3cc range, right? So even though I resourced a lot of trolls, if troll was my only 3cc card, I would have totally cast it in any of those games. Let's see. So one of the things is we got to think about things in groups. So there's a lot of ways to take the board, right? Taking the board could be Night Owl. It could be Sabrine. It could be flood the board with Eternal Trolls. It could be put on Fortified Wisp and they can't kill it, so it can take the board the next turn. It could be Braxnorian Soldier, the same kind of deal. It could be killing something with a Thunderstrike Construct, using this to take the board, Sinkhole, or using Ankle Breaker. So there's a ton of, or Clockwork Soldier, same kind of deal. There's a lot of like little ways that you can take over, or Valley of Doom. So that's like one strategy, one whole clump of cards are just about taking back the board. There's another general strategy which is about holding the board, and Vigilant Wisp helps with that. Entangled Wisp helps with that because it can buff other things to be able to hold onto the board. Troll definitely can help with that. Pack Beast can help with that, and can also help with healing and some other little utility things. Fortified Wisp can help with holding the board. Brax helps with that. Thunderstrike helps with that. And General helps with that. And then another broad category of cards, which is Draw. And we have draw engines coming from Confluence of Fate, Treasured Heirloom. Any of the attachments double as draw when they're comboed with Confluence of Fate. I only have 3 copies of Confluence of Fate in this 80-card deck, but I have 4 generals. So there's actually 7 chances to get that one card in this deck, right? So 7 out of 80, that's a 1 in 10, close to 1 in 10 odds, right? Yep. That's pretty good. So, pretty good chance that I'll have at least Confluence of Fate going in that game. And then with Confluence of Fate, I'll probably get a Treasured Heirloom or a Backstab or 2. And because of that, I'll wind up with a okay draw engine. If I do happen to get my Ill-Gotten Gains, I'm in even better shape. And if I get both, then I'll be drawing more cards than I know what to do with. And then, yeah, that's pretty much how it works. So you have all these different kind of strong themes that all work, and it's just a matter of what you get. And then you work with what you get. What do you think, Sam?
Well, I liked it for the first time. I think that's the first time I've ever actually... I might have watched you play 1 or 2 QMs with it, like a week or 2 ago.
Okay.
But I see like the sack choices and stuff, and it works, and I don't think it would actually work with less cards, because like you have little answers that you kind of need.
Right. So like this one, this is a card that would not work in a regular 40 card deck, because there's a good chance of drawing it, and it's a crappy card in almost all games. But there's this one chance that I get it in a Moonstalker game, and it just swings the whole game. And so it's worth having just for that. I would say the same thing about A Legend Rises. Usually it's not a great card. It's expensive for that +2 buff, but it's amazing against warriors. And so I hold on to it just for those matches, or maybe against priests sometimes. So I have that one copy. I won a match recently that was so subtle that you can watch the rematch, you wouldn't see on the replay. But it was against a warrior. I used General to pull A Legend Rises from my deck, and then I just held on to it the whole game. And I was just waiting for him to put a crippling blow on something that I wanted to uncripple. And because of just the psychological effect of having A Legend Rises in my hand, the guy knew I had it, because he saw when I used Seek that's what I was getting. And so he was very careful to kill off every single ally that he crippled, which meant that his aggro deck now all of a sudden had to play control, and it was a losing battle, right? So it's like subtle things like that can happen in this deck that you might not really have the ability to do in a smaller deck.
Makes a lot of sense.
The other kind of thing that I like about this sort of deck is that it's impossible to predict, right? Like I have this playmat of Valley of Doom, or what is it called? Yeah, Valley of Doom. So one time I used Valley of Doom on turn 4, and the other person was like, "Ha, I knew you were going to use that because of your playmat." And I'm thinking, well, I didn't know I was going to use it, because there's plenty of games where I never draw it. But okay,
you know and about you than you do.
Apparently, but I mean, the truth is that goes for any of these cards. Is you can't count on drawing any specific card in this deck, and so every game plays out a little bit differently. The deck winds up looking like a totally different deck every time. And while that's kind of scary for players, if you have a kind of flexible mindset yourself, and you can put together a strategy that works from the cards that you do get, then it's not a big deal. What winds up happening is that the opponent can't predict what you're going to do next. So it's very hard for them then to put up a counter strategy to your strategy, right? the only kind of strategy that works is them having a very proactive strategy that forces you to react to it. But as soon as they start reacting to me, then they're at a disadvantage because they can't predict what I'm going to do next. Anyway, so that's how... Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is how Monster Garth works. This deck is different from those Shattered Fates versions of Monster Garth. Let me see, I might have some of those in here. No, this is my 120 card version that I was playing around with. It's actually fairly good, which is kind of impressive. And this was just some kind of random Aldmore deck I was messing around with. So I guess I don't have any of the SF versions. So the original version was invented by BP Shadowman, and I think he's kind of an amazing visionary for having figured this out. The original version had a ton of 2cc allies in it, because Shattered Fates had a lot more of that Mage Rush thing happening, and it was really important to get that 2cc ally out early. And so it had a very good chance of drawing a 2cc ally. This deck only has this card as a 2cc ally and 2 sinkholes. So that early game rush is actually kind of hard to stop at the beginning. The way that it can handle it is with Yahari, with Spirit Shuriken, and with Sabrine. So there's kind of a way, so you kind of start catching the rush early, but you can't actually stop it the way that the old Monster Garth could, which makes it maybe a little weaker to that early rush, but it's also a lot stronger in mid-game matches because you have all these things that are hard to kill. So on balance, I'd say it's on par with the other kinds of Monster Garth decks, but it does have its relative strengths and weaknesses. Another little thing I'll throw out there about Monster Garth is that typically a Slim Garth is going to do better than a Monster Garth deck in a mirror match. And the reason for that is that the Slim Garth is going to be more quick to get things like Stop Thief. And it uses the Stop Thieves to take out ill-gotten gains and things like that. And just, it'll wind up being a little bit more consistent at taking and keeping the board than the Monster Garth will. So, it's got its advantages and its disadvantages, but I really like it. It's a lot of fun to play. So, yeah, have fun playing it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you look up our articles on shadowera.net, this deck is posted, although I have made a couple of little changes since then. I think this guy wasn't in there, so I've changed a couple other numbers around to add him in. Yeah, that's it. Anything else to say from you, Sam?
Thanks for tuning in to the 11th episode we've made.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Sorry for the inconsistencies here. We're trying to get these up and going again soon. And what should we do next time, Sam? Any ideas?
I'm not sure. We'll have to see if anybody's got any suggestions for anything they'd like to see. Or
okay.
I'll have to play around with a lot of stuff now that there's all these new cards.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a couple other things I'd be happy to show off. There's a Xana deck that I do that's kind of an attachment deck. I haven't seen a lot of other people doing that, so I'd be happy to teach you guys how it works and show it to you. There's also Serena's doing pretty good right now, so I can show you guys how a Serena deck works in this meta. Yeah. All right, so if you have any suggestions on things that we could do next time, feel free to leave them in the forum posts or in the YouTube comments or wherever. We'll check them out and maybe we'll pick a deck that you suggest for us. Until next time, though, I'll see you guys on Bob and Sam Trollin' It Up.
Take it easy, everyone.